Well, Liam, thank you so much for joining me on the talkSPORT MMA YouTube channel. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I was really looking forward to speaking to you today, and let's just dive right into it. So, your last fight against Katsuki Kitano was cancelled. You were supposed to return in June, but it fell apart. There was some weight cut issues. Can you kind of clarify that situation with me?
Basically, it was human error on the part of the rep for One Championship. I made weight perfectly. I checked my weight on numerous sets of scales. I then went to the fight scales, and I asked the official who checks all the weight to come and check my weight. He came and checked me, and the tip and slide scales. So the only person who could see him is him. I had some of the members of my team with me, and he said, "Oh, you're 143 pounds. You can go away. You can drink a little bit." The fight was at 145. So I know that that is £1. That's 500 ml of water. I went away and I drank about that much because I thought, you know what, I'll weigh in light. I came back an hour later and I put £3 on the same scales. So I was like, it's a bit suspect. And I was waiting for him to come over to me afterwards and say, oh, listen, I'm sorry, I've messed up a little bit there. Because there's only two ways that this could have happened. Number one, the scales were broke. Or number two, he read the weight wrong because he was the only one who could read the rate. So when he told me I was 143 pounds, he read it wrong or the scales were broke. I was waiting for him to come over afterwards and say, listen, I know what's going on here, but listen, we'll sort it out. I know I've messed up. Didn't say any of that. Just tried to say, right, go away and make weight again. Now, if it was as simple as just go away and make weight, I'd have gone away. I'd have lost £1. It'd have took me about 10 minutes. But One Championship have a hydration test before the weight. So I'd already emptied my bladder and give my urine sample and passed my hydration test. But when I have to make weight again, I had to pass hydration again. So because I'd emptied my bladder, I had to go away and I've had to drink 2 or 3 litres of water to get that run through my body, pass the hydration again, but then somehow go lose that 2 or 3 litres of water. When I'd already made weight that day, it'd have been the same as doing 2 weight cuts in one day. And I thought, why am I being punished here when this guy has read the weight wrong and I've not done anything wrong? Um, there's always room for human error with these tip and slide scales, which is why I don't really like using them.
Mm.
But it is what it is. He messed up. He wouldn't admit to messing up. I then got my opponent then turned up, missed hydration 3 times and weighed in £5 heavy. So then I was like, oh well, I should get some of his purse because that's usually what happens. You get a percentage of your opponent's purse. And he said, nope, you don't get none of his purse. I'm like, well, that's a bit ridiculous. And then I got told I couldn't fight for the 50 grand. If you knock out on One Championship, you're usually eligible for 50 grand bonuses. Then I got told they were taking that off me. So I just thought, you know what, fuck this. Why am I? Well, I'm putting my life on the line here in this cage, and I'm getting all these privileges and bonuses taken away from me when I know I've made weight and I know it was messed up. I just said, you know what, I'm not fucking doing it. As I'm not putting my body through this, and when I'm getting all this taken away from me. It was a shame that the boss, Chatry, didn't get wind of this until late at night because he tried ringing me at midnight to try and sort everything out, and I was asleep. And then when I rang him back the next morning, he was at the show already. He could have, maybe we could have like sorted it out if he'd have rang me because he's so understanding and he's a great boss to work alongside, and he's always like there for his fighters and looking out for them and things like that. After the fight, we spoke and he said he apologised for it all and he realised that. He said he knows that it wasn't my fault. He paid me in full. If he'd have got hold of me first, we could have salvaged the fight and it probably would have
Mm.
happened.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that seems like
I
a
just didn't.
pretty, yeah, that seems like a pretty unforgivable mistake at your level, Liam. And obviously, understandably, you were a bit unhappy with one, but like, how does that relationship look now as you go into your next fight?
Like I said, the boss came straight to me and he apologised for everything and everything got put right in my eyes. So yeah, the only thing I was pissed off about, I got no apology from the rep whatsoever, and he avoided me for the rest of the weekend. I wanted to chat to him to see what he thought could have gone wrong, and he avoided me for the rest of the weekend. But that was the bad thing from it, my side. The boss got hold of me, and like I said, me and him have got a great relationship, and he put everything right, and he paid me in full, which I was thankful for. It was just a shame I never got to get in there and knock the cobwebs off a little bit. However, silver lining, I did a great fight camp, got myself in top shape. Going into this camp now, had no injuries, had no knocks, no little niggles or anything like that, and I'm going into this one full
Mm.
steam ahead. And yeah, and I'll be ready.
Yeah, Liam, just before we get into your next fight, and obviously you've been out for close to 2 years now, and How frustrating has that been for you? Because obviously, in a sport that you're in, the one you operate in, consistency is quite key, and especially as you get older. And how annoying has that really been to be out for that long?
Yeah, it has been annoying. Like especially them getting so close to getting in there and fighting last time. Like, yeah, obviously, I was like a bit of a like a pit bull getting ready to get let off the leash, and it was like they showed me the cage door and they opened the cage a little bit and nearly let me out, and then they shut it again. So I've had to keep all that inside. Like I say, I'm a fighter and I want to fight all the time. So that's been tough, and it's been a bit mentally draining. It was very mentally hard whilst injured as well, watching all these fights happening, and I'm trying to get my body back to what it was. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have to retire here. I'm not getting the results I want. And then all of a sudden, bang, I'm back and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling fit and I'm doing everything that we're doing before the injury and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm feeling great at the minute now. And I'm just looking forward to getting back in there.
Yeah, so Liam, obviously you'll be back in there September 6th at 1168. And tell me about, since the fight was obviously you didn't do the last fight due to the weight issues. How's your sort of training, transitioned into this one and your preparations going into it?
Like I just mentioned then, I was like a pit bull getting ready to get let off the leash and then they shut the cage again. So I had nowhere to go. I were up here and I were in peak condition. I was ready to fight. The only place to go if you go down a little bit, I
Yeah.
went straight back into the gym and I was smacking the pads and I was ready and I was sparring and I thought, I've got 12 weeks before my next fight here. I can't maintain this level that I'm at now. It's physically impossible. So I had to go away for a couple of weeks and eat what I wanted and do what I wanted and then bring myself back down so I can then go back up. Because, like I said, it had been physically impossible to maintain the level of fitness I went up I was at. So that was tough in itself because I feel guilty when I don't go to the gym and if I'm resting and stuff like that. I think I should be doing something here. I should be doing something. But so that was tough. But yeah, like I said, no injuries, and we're in a good place going into this one now.
Yeah, and I've spoken to a few MMA fighters who say that that is one thing they struggle with, not being active and the urge to get back into the gym and train always gets to them. But how do you deal with that yourself? Because obviously you want to be in there competing all the time. And when you have these moments where it's a wee bit low and it's a bit more calm than what it usually is, how do you overcome that?
It's tough, like say, even if it's just something like ticking over or going to the gym and doing a little bit of fitness or cardio or anything like. I always like to do something. It's one of my it's a good trait to have, but at the same time, it's hard telling any fighter who's serious. You tell them to rest, they're going to say, "Yeah, I'll rest," and they're going to be off doing something somewhere. They'll be in the gym doing some cardio, some weights. They'll be doing something
Mm.
because to be a fighter at this level you have to be obsessed. You have to be obsessed with training, and you have to want to be in the gym all the time. It's tough when you just have to learn. Like the older I've got, you learn more about your body, and you learn about recovery, you learn about nutrition and sports science and all this stuff. And you just have to realize that sometimes having a rest is just as good for you as training.
Yeah, and obviously a new opponent now going into your next fight, Liam. Talk to me about some of the things you've had to, anything you've had to adapt in your training, and how are you going to be able to exploit that when it comes to fighting on the 6th of September?
Yeah, well, obviously, the guy I'm fighting he's a renowned warlord. He's a world famous. He's a legend of this era. Everyone knows what he's going to do. He's going to plow forward and he's going to fight like an absolute lunatic. How do you prepare for that? It's tough, do you know what I mean? So all I've been doing is getting lots of hard sparring in with big guys, trying to get myself as fit as possible. I think if I wanted, I could just go on the back foot, pick him off, and win on points pretty comfortably. But no one wants to see that. They want to see me and him meet in the middle of the ring and throw down until one of us can't throw down anymore. So that's what I'm going to give the fans. Like, I'm not here now to. I'm not even bothered about winning or losing this fight. It's not even about that. It's just about me getting in there and enjoying myself and going to war with a legend of this era, one of my heroes, and making sure everyone who's watching around the world, whether it's the people in England watching on Sky Sports, whether it's the people in America who paid their hard-earned money for a ticket, or whether it's people who are just taking time out of the day just to switch on and have a look. They want to see entertainment and they want to see a hard fight and they want to see two pit bulls go at it, and that's what I'm going to give them.
So you would rather put yourself more at risk and give the fans what they want to see than go in and just have a game plan to win the fight?
Yeah, fucking right, I would, mate. I've won all my world titles over the years and all that stuff like that. I am in there for two reasons now. One, to enjoy myself. And I like going to war with people. I enjoy it. If you watch any of my fights over my career, I fight hard. That's how I enjoy fighting. Number two, like I said, entertain everyone who's expecting. It's an entertainment sport. We are entertainers as well as fighters. So we have to give the people what they want. And I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and obviously Haggerty's on this card as well, and he's fighting super leg. And you once said he's the Jake Paul of Muay Thai, and he needs to be careful. And this is one of the fights he needs to do to get back, kind of on your level, sort of thing. Do you still stand by that comment? And what do you think? How do you think he's going to get on?
Well, it was just him being ridiculous. I was out for 2 years with a knee injury. I'm 38 years old, and he's trying to call me out saying he wants to fight me and stuff. When there's people his own weight and age and all the rest in the rankings, we wasn't even mentioning it. It made no sense to me. But yeah, listen, I've got nothing against Haggerty. He's obviously he's a world class fighter, and this will be a great fight, him and Superlek, and may the best man win. I think they'll put on a real spectacle for the fans. You've got two young, in the prime fighters who are both very dangerous, both very aggressive, both very explosive. This is another fight that the fans are going to get a real treat for.
Yeah, and if you both pick up wins, is that a fight we could potentially expect to see?
Probably not, mate, because I'm fighting at a lower weight division in this. I'm going down to 140 for this fight, and I felt quite comfortable at this one. And again, if he gets through this one, he's then got to get through Nico Carrillo. And then he keeps talking about fighting MMA. I'm not even interested in that fight, to be honest. We're on totally different paths, me and Haggerty. We're on totally different trajectory. He's young and in his prime. I'm just looking one step at a time, one fight at a time. I'm in the twilight of my career. I don't know which fight, any fight at the minute could be my last. You know what I mean? So I just want to enjoy everything about the fight, the build up to the fight week. I just want to enjoy it all. And then when I get this fight out of there, then I'll look and think, oh, what's next? I'm not looking anything into the future at the minute. One step at a time, one fight at a time, and just enjoy it all.
Yeah, and speaking about the build up to the fight, can we expect any awkwardness between the two of you? Is there any like real legit beef between the two of you?
Yeah, there is a little bit, but like, listen, I'm a grown ass man. I'm 38 years old. I'm not into this playground antics. When I'm going to be in Denver, I'll just ignore him, and pretty sure he'll ignore me unless he is into these playground type antics. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just ignore him. He'll ignore me. I've got a job. He's got a job. We're both professionals. We're both fighters. All my energy is going to be focused on the task at hand, which is fighting Sexan. And I'd like to think that he's going to be in the same frame of mind, and he'll just want to focus on Superlek.
Yeah, very interesting. And I mentioned Jake Paul there briefly because I wanted to get your thoughts on his fight against Mike Tyson. Do you have any sort of
Oh,
opinion
don't
on
do
that?
this to me.
Because
Don't do it. Don't do it to me. Oh.
obviously it's got a lot of mixed reactions, and I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh, I just don't understand it. Like, yeah, it's going to get lots of eyes on the sport. Like, but surely Mike doesn't need any money. He must be loaded. Surely he can't be broke. I just don't. I don't get it. I just do not get it. Jake Paul looks decent these days when he's fighting. Why can't he just fight actual boxers his own age and match
Mm.
himself accordingly against other pro boxers who have had 8 or 9 fights and just do that? I honestly don't understand it. I know like money talks and money makes the world go round and all the rest of it, but it's not for me. It's a circus.
Do you reckon you'll buy the fight?
Nah, not a chance. Nah, not a chance. No.
Very, very interesting. Liam, just talk to me a wee bit about the future. So after this fight's done, say you get a win, what's left for you in the sport?
Like I say, I'm not searching for glory or titles or money or anything like that. I don't fight for any of them reasons. I fought all the best fighters on my planet, on this planet, through my late teens, all my 20s, and even my early 30s. And I did it all for peanuts. I did it just because I love fighting and I love this sport. Obviously, won championship along now, and we all get paid great off these guys. But it's not about that for me, so I'm not chasing anything. I do it because I enjoy it and I love it.
Mm.
And as long as my body will let me, and I still feel good like I do at the minute, I'll carry on a little bit longer because it's something that I love doing, I'm passionate about, and I really enjoy it. If that fire starts to die away a little bit in after, I don't know, you never know when it's going to go. It's like sometimes it might just turn out like that, you never know. But it's still burning at the minute. I still feel good in the gym at the minute. So yeah, if I can get through this fight, I'll fight on for a little bit longer.
And what about away from the sport? Have you ever thought any goals outside of fighting?
Um, I'm just bought into like our gym, Bad Company Gym. I've trained it for 25 years. I'm now a co-owner of that, and we're opening a massive new facility in Leeds. So yeah, I'm gonna have that. I'll be part owner of that gym, so I'll have that to put all my energy into stuff, and when I retire and things like that. So yeah, like I want to go on and hopefully one day be as good as coach as I was a fighter if I can. So yeah, I'll still have my seminars. I'll have my gym now alongside Richard and Bad Company, and yeah, I'll have stuff to keep me busy.
Is that something you think needs more of in the UK, investment in these sort of grassroots MMA gyms?
Do you know what? Like a lot of the gyms I go around now, they're really good facilities. A lot of them are like got Thai boxing. A lot of them have got like MMA and boxing all and under one roof and stuff. And the sport is growing all the time. Um, so yeah, I think we're in a good place in England for Muay Thai for sure.
Yeah, and just two last ones from myself, Liam. Has retirement ever been a thing that you've discussed, internally with your team coaches?
I thought I was going to have to retire when I were injured because I just wasn't getting the results that I wanted, and I were in a bit of a shit place mentally for quite a while. But I had a good
Mm.
rehab team around me. I've got good people around me, my friends and family, and then everything came together, and I got myself back from the edge of like no beyond. So there was some talks about it then, and I was thinking, oh fucking hell, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But I'm not even thinking about it again at the minute. One fight at a time. I will then make up my mind where we go from there. So yeah, I feel good at the minute. I feel strong. I feel explosive, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, and finally, can we get a fight prediction for September 6th?
The only prediction I've got is absolute chaos. It's a Liam Harrison fight. That's always what happens. You get chaos, you get carnage, you get action, you get drama. You put Liam Harrison with Sexan, who provides some of the most wildest shit you will ever have seen in Muay Thai fights, and you put us both together, you're just going to get an explosion.
Liam, top man, I really appreciate you speaking to me today, and I wish you the best for the 6th of September.